And then we are going live.
Just make sure you tag me in it because I haven't figured out the whole sharing process.
Yeah, brother. Well, hey, everybody. Good morning. It's a beautiful Friday, and it's once again, it's that time again. It's time for the Kong Family Show, and I'm JJ Surprise, and my Kong brother Sean Wetzel is going to be joining us here shortly. And when he gets in, you can, you know who's coming in. You know who that rascal is. And today we have a really special guest. He's coming to you live from Chicago, and his name is Julio Reyes Jr. And he is just an awesome dude, and I want to introduce him. And but I also, as usual, when I start out the show, I always have to let people know what our goal is. Hey, Ricky Bowden, Paul Nelson, good to see you guys. Our goal is really simple. It's crazy how simple our goal is, Julio. The Kong family, we just want to change the world. That's it.
It's not complicated.
Think about it, how simple it is. We just want to change the world. And the cool part is we're doing it. We're doing it one person at a time, one Kong machine at a time, one changed heart and mind at a time. And it is such an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling thing to be doing in our lives. And, both Julio and I, we have a tremendous amount of passion for this company and for everything that it stands for. And so, yeah, there's my brother Sean right there. Hey, there he is, Mr. Sean Wetzel. We love that boy. So anyway, kids, we just want to introduce you to Julio Reyes Jr. from Chicago. Every time I think about you, buddy, I always think about that show. I can't remember what it was, but the friends go and they pull off on the wrong exit, and then they end up running for their lives all night long. Every time I see you, every time I think of you, that you're in the badass part of Chicago, I think of that movie. Julio's running for his butt today.
Are you talking about Chevy Chase and those guys on vacation?
No, it was
talking to all those brothers in this.
They go to a boxing match and they.
A Judgment Night.
Yeah, Judgment Night. There you go. I love that movie.
Wow. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
Hey,
it could be like that sometimes.
I was thinking he might be talking about when Chevy Chase is looking for directions and those guys are peeling his hubcaps and Rusty says, "Hey, Dad, I wonder if these guys know the Commodores."
Anyway, here on the Kong Family Show, we love to have some fun with what we're doing. We're spreading a very serious message, but we believe in humor and fun as far as part of spreading that serious message, because everything doesn't always have to be as serious as a heart attack. Sometimes it can be fun as a picnic, and that's what we're looking to do, is have a little bit of fun while we get some serious stories out there, get some great information that's going to transform people's lives. And so with all that, I would like to introduce Julio Reyes Jr., and I'd like to ask him the question that I always ask every guest that comes on the show to start things off. Number one, Julio, how did you get involved with Kong and Water? Why did you get involved? How did you find out about it? And were you a ginormous skeptic like I was in the beginning?
How did I find out? I found out about the water through scrolling through Facebook. A lot of through watching your shows. A lot of people have found out. It was through a separate business model. But that's how I first got turned on to it, and I was kind of just like, okay, well, what's the product behind this? And once I seen the product, I was astonished. And I looked at the water machine, and I started to do some research and to see what it actually was, what it does for your body, and things of that nature. And I was amazed. I was a skeptic like anybody else. I was like, how could it be so simple? How could the result of better health be something so simple, something so plain, as water? I didn't understand that concept that all water is not created equal. I, like the majority of people probably viewing today, or people in the world in general, I thought, hey, water is water. But once I started to dive deep into what it was, You know, and I
Dive
learned
deep
what
into
it
the
was.
water.
Go ahead.
Once you learn to dive deep into the water. That's
Yes,
beautiful.
yeah.
I
Hey,
had
that's good,
to
right?
interject. Forgive me.
That's good, right? Yeah. Once I learned what it was, you know, I felt as if, what do I have to do in order to get my machine? You know, and the why behind all of this was more than the whole business model, more than, you know, we go and we get out there and we get jobs and we do all of these things because we need to make a living. You know, we need to provide for our families and things of that nature. You know, I'm a man. I take care of my household. You know, I take care of mine. But separate from all of that, just from the health aspect, that's where my why really came from. You know, I have a large, very, really large family, and we have a number of health issues. You know, the Latino community in general, you know, with the way that people are not taking care of their bodies and the way people eat and things of that nature, and, you know, culture. You know, some of the foods that we eat in, you know, in our culture aren't always the healthiest, you know, foods and whatnot. So much pork and all of this stuff. I have a lot of family members who have a bunch of health issues. You know, so once I learned about the technology behind it, the health benefits from it, I was like, what do I have to do in order to get one of these machines? You know, and that was the determining factor in me getting my machine. That was the determining factor in me setting my mind on, no matter what I need to do, I knew for a fact that I needed to get one of these machines. That was my take on it. You know, and as far as the what it's actually doing for my body and whatnot, oh, you know, I feel great every day. I wake up every single morning, and, you know, I have that much more energy. I get up every day, you know, with the exactly what you said, JJ, with the ability, you know, I get to change somebody's life today. You know, I get to, number one, inject some good health into myself. You know, if our brains are made up of mostly water and our bodies are made up of water, then, you know, I want to put the best quality of water out there that's in my body, because, you know, I love my city, but my city doesn't produce the best quality of water. No, it is bleach infested by far. You know, I can probably take my clothes and, you know, do some hefty cleaning with just the amount of bleach that they put in there. You know, I smelt the glass the other day, and I haven't drinking Foster water in about 6 months now. You know, but I smelt bleach water, and I almost had this gag reflex where I wanted to throw up the other day. I was like, oh, I can't believe that I used to put this in my body. You know, so water definitely is not, all water is not created equal. But that's, you know, that's where my why came from, JJ.
Wow,
Hey, can I ask him can I ask him a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Being a former tap water drinker, you know, both of you guys, can you speak to this? When you drank your water from a tap, did you really want it to be really cold?
Yeah.
And for me,
I prefer room temperature water. I preferred room temperature for years. No, even for years. For years, I love drinking room temperature water. Like, even when I would drink my bottled water or whatever the case is, like only on a really, really hot, scorching day, you know, that I really want some really cold water. Outside of that, I actually prefer to drink room temperature water. But that's just me. JJ said he wants.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you know, and here's my deal. I drank the tap water. The colder it was, the less I tasted the chlorine. The warmer and more room temp it was, the more it just like went right there down the gullet. So yeah, I'm just curious. I used to drink it. Yeah, I used to drink it when it was tap water. I drink it ice cold. Now that it's Kangen, yeah, I don't care if it's been sitting around for a couple hours right next to me. I'm cranking it because it's easy.
You taste that crispness of the water. You know how clear it is. You know, in comparison to the crap that I used to put in my body, there's no comparison, none whatsoever. Kong's water, baby, the best water on this planet.
You know, for me, you guys, I never drank water. I didn't. I never drank water. I only drink water when I was sick. That's the only time I would ever drink water. My mindset was, hey, I get all the water I need from my Gatorade, from my Sprite, from my Coke, from my whiskey and Coke, from my orange juice and tequila, you know, from from you know, my energy drinks, because all that stuff's got water in it, right? So hey, I'm getting plenty of water. I don't need no water, you know, water. I don't even like water. But then I went and got my Kong machine, and I'm like, hey, I just spent $4,000 on this thing. By golly, I'm going to drink that water. And boy, what a change did it ever make in my life. And you know, one thing that we always try to make sure that we get out there on this show is that the miracle is not the water. The water is just a gift. The water is a gift from God and from Mr. Oshiro. And the miracle is this machine right here. This is the most crazy, most technical, most incredible machine that is on the planet. And
what a great design. What a great design. And in our body, that everything was made to sustain itself. Everything was meant to heal itself. I'm in agreement with you, JJ.
Yes.
Everything in this body. Go ahead.
One thing I want to make sure, because this is where my next question is leading towards, and that is that, you know, the water doesn't, you know, you said a minute ago, it's amazing what the water did for my body. And the truth is, the water didn't do anything for your body. Your body did it for your body. And your body did it because it simply got the gift that it needed. It got its prayer answered. It got the fuel, the electricity that it needed. And so it did amazing things. And that's what happens on a continual basis. And it's very commonplace amongst the Kong family to hear these kinds of stories. But I like to get stories out there because you never know what story is going to resonate with who and how it's going to click on somebody's light bulb, like what happened when Brittany Dykes put her story up there and it turned on the light bulb in my brain cell and changed my life forever. You know, my next question is always, so what kind of things happen for people around you, people in your life, yourself, your family, you know, when their machine, their 120 millivolt machine that runs on 120 millivolts and hydrogen, when it all of a sudden got what it needed, what kind of things did it do?
Well, for me personally, I've learned, you know, mostly through educating myself on the importance of water, that our bodies are like batteries. You know, I've never looked at it like that, in that sense.
9 volt.
I've never looked at it, you know, from that sense until being put onto the water. You know, that our bodies are batteries. You know, the first 2 weeks, it definitely detoxed my body per se. Many trips to the bathroom, you know, and detoxing me from, you know, and I didn't realize how much crap was in my body. But can I tell you that that my energy level,
massive.
Yeah. Literally, how much crap was in my body.
Yeah.
You know, I lost about 15 pounds.
No, amen. I tell anybody, Kong and water drinkers are the only ones that ain't full of shit in this planet anymore. Everyone else is full of shit. I was full of shit beforehand, but now I'm just like saying it, man. You're being all cool and being like, look, this is a real deal.
I have a family member who I've recently introduced to the water, so I'm doing a water share with her. And she's like, I don't know what the F you people do with this water, you know, but I was on the toilet for 4 days straight and I was pissing like a racehorse and I was doing all of these things and whatnot, you know, because, you know, and this individual, she's, you know, she takes a lot of medication. She has a number of health issues and whatnot, you know, not to avoid answering your question, JJ, you know, I've been introducing a lot of people. So she was just kind of just like, man, I can't believe the power of this water. What something is truly special about this water. If it did what it did to my body, that it in the last 4 days I haven't been able to, you know, she takes a lot of medication, mind you. You know, because she has a number of health issues and whatnot. But I've been showing her through her drinking the water that we can get her off of some of those medications, you know. But for me, I lost immediately. I lost about 15 or 20 pounds. You know, I've been using the 11.5 to assist my mother, you know, with some heartburn issues that she constantly has because the water is used to emulsify the oil, you know, in our bodies. Like I said, my energy level, Now I love the taste of coffee, man. And I drink coffee out of habit now, because all I got to do is drink a big glass first thing in the morning, man. And I feel like, I could run a race, man. I feel like I can move a house. The amount of energy that I have, that hydrogen, that it adds to my body, after fasting throughout the night and sleeping and whatnot, that flush that it does first thing in the morning, and my energy levels goes through the roof. I feel like I'm mentally and physically charged, when I drink this water every single day, man. So it's just a life changer for me. And as far as my family members, not just, my aunt, but my mom, my sister, I have more different aunts. My mom is the oldest of 10 siblings. So we have a very large family, and they all have children, So, I've just been sharing the water with anybody and everybody, because I know what it can do and the health benefits, behind it. Like I said, our bodies are like a battery to assist individuals in charging, their body and getting somebody to the state where they're going to have a better health and a better chance at this thing we call life, man. How could we not, get injected by that? How could we not be encouraged by that?
No, word. May I pick up that like a Chris Bryant grounder to end the 2016 World Series with the big shit-eating grin on my face? It's like this. I'll tell anybody. Nice, you guys were on that. I tell anybody, man, it's like we're born with we're back to the battery thing. We're born brand new out of the package. We're juicy, man. We're hydrogenated. We're electrified. We're rubbery. We bend, but we don't break. We smell fresh, unless, we got massives going on at that stage, and that ain't no thing. We roll with it like Steve Winwood, right? But the bottom line is, you put your tongue on those two posts, you're going to get a good shock. And that's how babies are. And they're born 93% water. They're born 7.2 to 7.4. And then you fast forward to the end of life, whether it's disease or sickness or old age, we are dying under 50% water. We are dying 4.0 pH. And we basically spend a lifetime of our battery going from to, putting your posts on me 10 years ago at 38. And I had my lower back pain. I had all that nonsense. And I was starting to sound like all them old folks in my world. It's just part of getting old. And I was like, good Lord, I never thought I'd say that.
Who wants to receive that as a processing or accept that in your day-to-day? I didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I'm like I said, and I'm at 49, I'm rocking it like Herbie Hancock. You know what I mean? I feel better than I did 10 years ago. Just because I have now found a means to put more juice in that battery that I was subconsciously draining, drinking Dasani and drinking tap water and eating cheeses and processed foods and sugars, and it's crazy. So I still ain't really cleaned up my diet yet. But I'm drinking smoothies now with kale and spinach. You've got to be kidding me. I grew up on the res. We didn't even know what fresh spinach was, man. The only spinach we got was that gloppy, dark, soaked butt end of the spinach crop thrown in a can kind of stuff. And
spinach.
Spinach. Ain't no amount of butter, ain't no amount of salt that made that glop taste any better. And the biggest dreaded words I ever heard when I was 6, 7, 8. Honey, eat your spinach or you're not leaving the table.
So you must have spent a lot of time on the table then, brother.
And I would sit there counting the wood grains in the table. I'd count the holes in the ceiling tiles. But yeah, the bottom line is it's just the voltage, the cellular voltage is everything you're talking about. And yeah, it just
my energy levels, man. My energy levels are through the roof. Throughout the day, I used to drink 3 and 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day because I would have that, hey, it gets up my heart rate and all of that. But then immediately after, you have a crash. This is water that we're talking about here. So internally, what it's doing for my body, my energy levels, I have good confidence. Don't get me wrong, a Mack truck could come out of nowhere, but I got good confidence, in saying that I know I'm going to be around a lot longer because of what I'm putting in my body. Our cell phones, they don't run off of, if our cell phones are running on low battery, you'll end up damaging the battery. If your phone is not getting the proper charge, or you're charging it with the wrong cable or whatnot, or you're always having your cell phone, at the lowest battery form, is it going to run? Are you going to be able to do the things that you want to do in your cell phone, or run multiple apps at the same time, or do this and do that? No, not at all. And our bodies are exact same way. How could we ever expect for them to run off the optimal level, if we're not giving our bodies and what it needs? That's why I love Kong's water, because it gives my body exactly what it needs, and my intake, and I feel charged throughout the day. I don't have to crash the way that I used to, physically speaking. I feel energized throughout my day. And if I ever feel like a decline in my energy, guess what? I go get me another cup of water. And immediately afterwards, I feel like I'm charged. I feel like I have energy. Adding hydrogen to my body. We have hydrogen in the smallest of our little blood cells, man. It's all in there. So I'm just adding to it and making sure that my body is charged throughout the day. And it's making a world of a difference in my energy level, and my processing and how I go about my days, man. So it has helped to change my body from the inside out. And the greatest thing is we get to share this to the world. Whether you receive it or not, man, I'm going to bring you this water. I'm going to challenge you to drink this water. I'm going to challenge you to make a change for yourself in drinking this water. And you'll see, man, the proof is in the water, baby.
Amen. Amen. I think it's interesting, this conversation we're having about voltage, because, one of my heroes, one of my mentors who really doesn't even know it, we're going to get to meet soon here. He's going to come on the show, Dr. Michael. He has a demonstration where he talks about when we're born at 120 millivolts of electricity that's running through our system. And when we get older and we end up with cancer, diabetes, or heart disease, or, the myriads of diseases that people are suffering with, whenever he takes those people and tests their voltage, he always finds that they're like around 50 millivolts, 60 millivolts, 70 millivolts. And so, with the voltage dropping, so does the health, because the machine is supposed to run on 120 millivolts. It's just like your truck or your car. If it doesn't get its 12 volts and it's gasoline, how far is it going to go? And our vehicle is really not much different, other than the fact that it's designed to heal itself. It's designed to fix itself. And so, we've talked about a lot of really interesting things that are, part of our body system. And what I want on my next question to you, Julio, and, I think this is the most important question of all when it really comes down to it. And that is that, if you had an opportunity to speak to somebody about this water, about this gift, about, their machine, and how this is such an incredible thing for it, and you only had one thing that you could say to this person or these people. You only have one thing. That's it. You only get to say one thing. And in order to, get them to jump off the fence and get their machine and realize that they should have it, whatever, something to turn their light bulb on, you only get one thing to say. What is it?
JJ, I think people complicate stuff.
Amen.
I think a lot of people complicate this thing we call life. So if I don't want to be a bandwagon kind of guy, but when posed with this question, it doesn't take me long to come up with the response. And it's the slogan of our company. It's the slogan of what we work for. Change your water, change your life. It's that simple. I didn't understand that when they first told me that and I first heard it. These people are full of crap. It can't be that simple. And it really is. It really is. If you change your water, you'll change your life because of this engine right here, because of this machine based off of our creation right here. It's not complicated at all. If you change your water, it will change your life. Learning that our body does the process of elimination when it comes to water in our body, where if we're only consuming a minute amount of water, that it'll first bring the water to, and I learned this from you, JJ, that it'll first bring the water to your brain, you know, and then to your lungs and you know, what, to your heart or something like that. And then it kind of does the process of elimination to all the other organs in our body. I was like, okay, well, look, let me scarf down as much of this as possible because I want to be running on all cylinders every day, baby. You know, you feel my energy level in the morning when we jump on our morning Zoom. You know, it ain't because of my café con leche, baby. No. You know, as much as I love coffee, man, you know, with nice foamy milk, you know, and that little punch in the face, the little taste, I love it. You know, put other coffee, man, but it's that water. It's the water, man. I look forward to drinking the water. I didn't look forward to drinking waters before. I look forward to drinking my soda, drinking my juices, you know, adding all that sugary stuff from my body because, oh, this tastes great. This tastes great. You know, now it's kind of like, oh, when I'm having dinner or when I'm doing this, what are you going to drink? Kong's water. That's what I'm going to have. I don't want to put
I gotta ask you another question, Julio, that's right along this, because this, you know, as usual, you're always spurring questions into my brain cell that I gotta ask, you know, and things I gotta say. And you know, I always say that Kong makes everything better. Yeah. It really does. It makes everything better. Okay?
I agree 110%.
My question to you is, and this, you know, this is something for all you coffee lovers out there to think about, you know, who love your coffee and love your tea and love your lattes and your espressos and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. All right, I want you to listen to my brother Julio here. Julio, how much better has Kong's water made your coffee?
It tastes very, very crisp. The first day that I made my coffee, I looked at my cup funny, like, damn, this tastes good. You know, and like I said, I love coffee, you know, and I've been drinking coffee since, you know, my dad used to give me coffee. He wasn't that type to say, hey, you know, it'll stump your growth, son. Nah, he'd be like, go ahead, take a swig. You know, that was my dad. Like, go ahead, you want to taste this stuff? You're going to have some energy. You're going to have the jitters and all that stuff. But it has made my coffee taste really, really crisp. Really, really crisp, really, really smooth. And the coffee lovers that I've introduced to the water and done the water share, that's one of the first things they message me about. That's one of the first things that they'll call me or they'll text me or whatever. They'll say, oh, I love the taste of my coffee. My coffee tastes so much more better with this. You know, how did I not know about this before? Because if, like I said, these are coffee lovers, you know. You know, but oh, my cup of Joe tastes great. And not just with the because your question made me think of some other things, JJ. In every other area, let's just leave it like that, and you guys can fill in the blanks how you choose. I don't even care. Okay, that's how strongly I feel about the water. In every other area, in my thought process, my energy level, you know, how I communicate, my performance level, okay?
Mental clarity.
Through the roof, baby, through the roof. Needless to, I'm a young man, don't get me wrong, so I'm young and vibrant, but I think when I'm older, as long as I'm on Kong's water, I'll be all right. No need for any pill popping for me, baby.
Julio, you're never going to get older.
Energizer bunny.
You're never going to get older. That's the thing, is we don't get older, we get younger.
That's right. That's injecting vitality one cup at a time.
Amen. You know, and it's all about what's up here in your head, kids. For all of you out there that are going to listen to this as time goes by, this is going to end up on our YouTube channel. It's going to be shared out all over the place for everybody to watch and listen to. And, you know, this is going to be affecting people for years and years and years to come. My thing is never grow old. You're going to get old. The years are going to go by, and there's nothing you can do about time. But don't get old. And that's right here, because this is where you get old or you get young. You know, if you believe you are healthy, if you believe you are young, if you believe that you can do it, you can. If you
JJ, can I address that kumbaya shit right there, minute, man? God bless you. Listen, I get that. But here's where we got to break it down on the physiological level. You're talking emotion. You're talking mentality, belief. I get that. But when this thing up here that is responsible for all that is short-circuiting because it's not properly lubed, it ain't got its juice, It's hard. And that's where we get into, fighting those negative thoughts and not believing. And, we get into, to me, it's either God or
That's good. That's good, Sean. That's good.
I mean, that's it. By default, we are either one of two decisions away from success or failure. It just depends on which one we make. So as much as we want to believe that, I mean, I didn't even know what I wanted to believe early on. I was trying to drink it to get this cat off my jock because he's trying to sell me a $4,000 water filter. So I'm trying to get him in and out of Dodge. I'm waking up in the morning, crushing this water. I'll drink an ounce per pound of body weight. Your boy was 256. So that just totally jived with 2 gallons. So I'm rocking 2 gallons a day like Amadeus, right? I'm waking up in the morning and I don't even know what's going on. I'm a pretty positive cat, but I mean, I'm already feeling, I'm believing, I've got stuff going on an energy and positivity level that the mental clarity that the water brought to my table changed everything. So, not to pick on you, not to play, but being playful, everything you're saying was right. But just to think about people that want to be hopeful, want to be happy, want to be positive, they're really looking for something. And they don't have Kangen, they're fighting an extra battle. Yeah. So I'm like telling people, look, man, I get it. I understand you're trying to make a shift. You're trying to make a change. You're trying to take a new directive, new initiative in your life. You want to facilitate that physiologically. Man, get down on it like Kool in the Gang with Kangen water because it's going to just change your whole brain function and it's going to facilitate what we're doing. Again, your body's the miracle. The water just facilitates that miracle performing on an optimal level. So yeah, I just wanted to address that because that to me is there's a real connection there between mind and body. When I was talking about the mind-body connection, we might want to be here, but our body is short-circuiting. Or, we might wake up feeling about half juicy, but our mind is faltering and we're struggling with doubt. We're struggling with all that. So yeah, the water is a great equalizer. Kangen is a great equalizer. And it's funny, Julio, here's JJ. We were both really short and ugly when we started drinking the water. And all these years later, I'm taller. I ain't getting any better looking. JJ didn't grow, but he got better looking. So, he's short and good looking. I'm tall and ugly. We can't have it all, but the water is going to make things so much better for us.
Well, I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm getting sexier by the day, baby.
Evidently.
I'm getting sexier and I am aging like a fine wine thanks to Kangen water, baby. That's how I look at it. I'm going to get better. I know that, don't get me wrong, when I was in my prime, I was in my prime. Being a teenager, playing sports, lifting weights, when you're at that prime, you're doing it. When you're in your early 20s, you feel like no matter what, you're unstoppable. But a lot of football being chopped in the knees, and this is me personally, playing sports, basketball, football, no matter what the sport was, on activity level, I feel like I'll knock somebody out. Now, it's at a different level now, don't get me wrong, and I know my limitations, but I still feel like I have that vitality. I feel like a whole new man thanks to Kangen water. I have that energy level. And like I said, what it does to your body, I just know that I'm going to have a better quality of life as a result of it. And that's what it's done for me. And I feel like it's transformed me and it's transforming me every single day. It's paving the way to ensure that I have good health and I have the ability to change and transform somebody else's life and introduce them to this change, introduce them to what's helping me change, what's helping me grow, what's helping me mature, and you say, well, how can water help you do all of these things? Well, you get some Kangen water and you'll find out. You'll see how changing your water can change your life, man.
Yeah, amen.
JJ, can I handle this next question from my man? Because we're going to take this to another level on this one. Julio. I've been, ever since I met you on, the morning motivation, been picking up your vibe. I don't know about the timing, but, I love your posts. And the one you posted just the other day, you dropped on us about how people are like, how come you're always putting all this positive stuff? How come you're always happy? How come you always just got a good way of mind? At what point in time did that coincide with the water at all? I mean, because, I didn't know you a few years ago, and I still would like to think that, this brother was still solid as a rock like Ashford and Simpson. But did the water and the timing of that's inclusion into your life kind of jive with that overall deal? Because you just seem to be a man that's just taking on another level, taking on another mission. You just seem to be like, elevation is your new mantra. You just seem to elevate thinking, elevate positivity, elevate good things into the, ethos, if you will, the stratosphere. And anybody within your ripple effect, the splash you're making on the social media trip, everybody catching your waves, catching a ripple, are digging it, man. They're just scrambling, looking for a floaty in their Mai Tai so they can kind of enjoy that positivity. Because like you said on your deal yesterday, why do you post that stuff? I get asked the same question. I was about to hit you up and say, hey, can I just bite on this hard? Because I've been given the same questions. But the point being is that people don't know what to think. There are people that are just, you said it yourself on Facebook. All you see is doom and gloom. It's politics, it's name calling, it's finger pointing, it's barking around, everyone barking around in their underwear behind a computer that they would not say to someone's face. And so, that wears me down, and that's a big conscientious part of my thought. But did all that kind of come into play along the lines of your, mental, emotional journey and the Kangen Waters inclusion? How did that all play out?
Well, I'm a man of God. I'm not a religious man. There, in my opinion, there's a difference. There's a big difference. Religion says that, you have to fit into this box. And if you're not fitting into this box, then, you're not accepted, or,
right.
You're going to hell, fire and brimstone type of mentality. Right. So since being turned onto the water, it has definitely taken me to another level. The amount of clarity that it has brought to my mind, my thinking, my thought process, how I operate. I never understood the mantra, the motto, and some of the stuff that if you go on the Enagic website that they talk about, or the demos, just the whole, mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. But being introduced the water, it's so and that's based off of my pursuit, towards, I believe that we're created for relationship. Us being in this business, we're in the people business. Let's keep it real. We're in the people business. So I feel like I have a God-given responsibility, to educate my fellow man about, this water, to let them know there is a better way, and if you have something that can help every single man on this planet of Earth, and that it'll change their life, that it'll transform their life, that'll help them process, it'll help them in their everyday lives. How could you not interject that? How could you not tell somebody about that? It's kind of like, the truth. You have this fantastic secret. Why harbor that and hold that just for yourself?
Right.
Don't be selfish in that. So yes, it is. So yes and no. And the no is because I am who I am, and I've worked towards that. And I don't say that to toot my own horn in the slightest bit. I grow, and growth is a process. Transforming is a process. So I am who I am because of my pursuit after God and my pursuit after greatness, after being the best version of me. Like I said, it don't have anything to do with religion. It only has to do with me searching down, looking in the mirror, looking at my ugliness, and seeing the areas that I need to grow, that I need to mature, that I need to continue to grow in and transform to be the best version of myself. The water plays a role in that because it brings about my mental clarity. It helps me in every aspect. It brought about, it has enhanced my awareness over myself and how vital it is to give our minds and our bodies exactly what it needs and how we can perform to another level. So I feel as if me being introduced to water, me drinking the water, it has taken every aspect of me and who I am to another level, as a result. Not to mention the mentorship, not to mention the community, not to mention, you know, the mental chain, not to mention how I've been encouraged to read so many books, not to mention how it has helped, you know, not just me, but my family and the people around me, not to mention the business front, not to mention, you know, like I said, the relationship buildings that's coming about, you know, and every other thing. So each and everything that makes us who we are, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help to transform, you know, some aspect about you. You're gonna grow, you're gonna mature, you're gonna be transformed. All through drinking water, Julio? Yes. All through drinking water. Change your water, change your life, baby.
Wow, that is such a powerful message, Julio. You know, I knew it in, you know, hooking up with you and seeing that you were going to come on the Kong Family Show, that, you know, we were going to end up having a rock star type performance here today. And, you know, kids, for people out there, you know, who knows what's going to resonate with you, what's going to change your mind, what's going to light the light bulb. You know, we never know that here. And so what our goal is to just bring in people from all across the spectrum that have stories to tell. Heck, we had a guy on, my buddy Ryan Bartholomew. He's on here right now. Thomas Warden, Chrissy Connor. Love you guys. Ricky Bowden. Love all you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in on the show and listening in. And, you know, like you said something a little bit earlier, Julio, about simplicity. And, you know, our good buddy Sam Tran, he had something just beautiful to say. He said, the genius is in the simplicity. And that is incredibly true. And this whole message today has just been so awesome. And so, you know, the last part of this, because we've been going now for about 45 minutes and, you know, we've all got things we got to move on to get our, you know, to rock on the rest of our day, you know. And so one of my goals with this show is to introduce people and to help people resonate with each other and help people hook up with other people and that kind of stuff. And so at the end of every show, I always ask every guest to, you know, you came on here today, Julio, and you gave a ton of golden nuggets and awesome information. And you know, there might be people out there who want to hook up with Julio. You know, they're like, this dude freaking rock, man. I want to hook up with him. I want to know this cat. I want to be getting some of his brain cell every day, you know. And so if someone's out there and they want to know, they want to get in touch with, they want to work with Julio Reyes Jr., how do they get a hold of you, buddy? How do they reach out to you? Give them whatever information you want. Whether you want phone numbers, websites.
Look, I'm an open book. I'm an open book, man. You know, I like you gentlemen, you know, I get up every single morning with the opportunity, you know, to change somebody's life. And I look at life from that perspective. You know, whose life do I get to change today? You know, so if you want to reach out to me, by all means, message me on Facebook. Look me up, Julio Reyes Jr. You know, Reyes means king, you know. So, hey, we're talking about Kong's water. He's the king, baby. You know, so think about it from that concept. You can reach out to me, man. Look, I ain't got no problem sharing my number, 773-787-5673. Call me, text me, whatever the case may be, man. You know, I believe that we're put here to build bridges. We're here to build relationships, you know, and we're put here to change each other's life. We all have something to bring and offer to the table, each and every one of us. You know, don't downplay yourself or your situation in the slightest bit, man. We all have something to offer. And as a result, you know, let's connect. You know, so whether it be Facebook, message me, send me a text, whatever the case may be, man. Bless you guys. Much love. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you that you're featuring me, man.
Hey, you're really beautiful, man, for coming on. Listen, I just want to make sure. What did you say your phone number was? 777-9311. Ooh, pretty baby, do you look so fine? Nobody knows that unless they're Morris Day and the Time fans. So you dropped that with the Michael Cooper quickness from Confunction. Can you slow your roll on that 10-digit number, Mike?
Yeah. 773-787-5673. Or you can just hit me up on Facebook, baby. It's all good, man. You know, we'll connect. We'll build bridges. You know, we'll do a water share. You know, message me. I'll message you right back, man. I'm an open book, man. I'm a family man. You know, and life is about, like I said, building bridges and building relationships. You know, we're all mentors to each other. We're all learning from each other. We're all growing with each other. If you're the same person today that you were yesterday, you know, hey, God bless you, but you need to change. You need to grow. You know, so let's continue to make progress in everything that we're doing, man.
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
You know, boys, Julio, thank you so much, brother, for taking your time. I know you're at work, and you know, you're taking your time to jump on here with us and spread some wisdom. And you know, it's such a blessing, you know. And the truth of the matter is that you're you know, the fact that I know you and I get to see that big giant ear to ear smile every morning, you know, it's such an incredible blessing, this whole thing. And the blessings that I've received over the last 2 years, there's only one thing that there's two things that I can attribute them to, and that's to God and to Kong's Water. And the fact that I took the leap and got involved with this, it made sense after such a long time of saying, oh, what a bunch of nonsense. It made the most of sense. And because of that, I've been able to meet people like Sean Wetzel and Julio Reyes Jr.
We get to meet people across the world.
Yeah.
And without this, we wouldn't even know each other, JJ. Without this, we wouldn't be connecting the way that we did. And then being on a platform like Zoom and being on a platform like a Facebook and connecting on social media, man, you know, we have the world at our fingertips. So let's continue to build relationships. Let's continue to build bridges and change lives, man.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you this. Let me help wrap this up. There's a couple things I want to finish up with. Right there, it's like, look, people ask me, what do you do? What are you doing these days? I've literally become very cool with just saying I build relationships. Now, what do you do for money? Whatever it takes, build.
I work for a company that pays me to drink water, baby.
Right. Hey, and we're talking about all that mind, body. Would you say at the end that drinking Kangen does affect the mind, the body, and the spirit then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kind of the hat trick, kind of like this little entourage here. We got ourselves somewhat of a hat trick for all the Canadian and Maple Leaf fans maybe ear-holing us right now, Bartholomew. No, hey, yeah, this is what we're talking about. You know, strength in numbers. You know, any of us on a daily basis, we're out there talking to people, but you galvanize and you bring all of us from different organizations on the Kangen water system. None of us are on the same team. But we're all throwing each other dimes like we're the Harlem Globetrotters, and just whoever's at the cup at the last second's the one that flushes it.
Kong's family is really large and it is vast, Sean. That's the reality. We're worldwide. The best thing is this is a global business. And on this platform, at the touch of a button, we can connect. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Amen.
Nice. No, that's huge. And hey, and finally, to capitalize, again, you know I can't help it, man. I am just musically inclined. But to go back, to steal a phrase from you, were you thinking about EPMD when you said the process of elimination? It's quite simple. You grow like a black
I'm a big EPMD fan, man.
You like lettuce, toss you like a salad. You better know that my rhymes is valid. Hey, we educate.
Back in business, baby.
Back in business. We educate, we entertain here at the Kong Show. Hey, JJ, glad to be back in the saddle with you, man. My couple-week hiatus was road worthy. My horse is tired. I got him saddled up out there on the post. Glad to be back in business. Tried finding, hey, Thomas, God bless you. I need a link for that morning motivation. I was scrolling through Thomas's feed this morning like a stalker, and I couldn't find it, man. Like I'm stalking some woman I'm trying to figure out how to. No, I couldn't find it. And so JJ sends me a number, and again, I'm a Fred Flintstone, man. Give me a little more help in this George.
Yabba dabba do, baby.
That's right.
Well, you know, let's go ahead and end this then with the morning motivation. We all three highly recommend it. It's a tremendous thing to help you transform your mindset every morning. If you win the morning, you win the day. But all you got to do, kids, is go to zoom.us. Sean, write this down. You go to zoom.us, you punch on the join meeting link, and then when you get to that join meeting, you type in 419-997-2642, and boom, just like that, you're in. You are in. And so, yeah, kids, we love you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much
We'll
for
be back, JJ.
joining in with me. And, you know, just love doing this. Tomorrow we've got an incredible show coming up with my mentor, my coach, my brother, Tim McGaffin. Been working on getting him on the show since we started it. And finally, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, he's coming on the show. So
it's kind of ironic that you say that, because it took him a while to get your hard-headed ass to drink the water.
Exactly.
You needed Brittany Dykes to throw that last dime when McGaffin was trying to feed you like Artis Gilmore at the block, man, and you couldn't turn around and throw in a dump hook. So yeah, I think that's beautifully fitting, man. And I'm gonna get it. Gaffin and I are gonna tag team your ass, man.
JJ had to be dunked in like a baptism.
Shazam! Shazam!
Oh, I love you guys so much. Have yourselves an awesome day. Have a great weekend. I'm going to go have a little fun with my sweetie. Some very much needed fun. We're going out.
Life is meant to be enjoyed, JJ.
It's
Enjoy
Friday.
it.
You ain't got a job, and we ain't got bleep to do. Hey, rock and roll, gentlemen. You guys are beautiful. Really glad to be back on it. Yeah, Julio, you're the man. We're all going to convene at some stage of the game. And when we do at some point in time, it's all going to be a pretty glorious situation, man. I look forward to it, man. The hat trick, the trifecta, the three ball from way downtown.
I love it.
Sean Wetzel wrapping it up for my man JJ Surprise and Julio Reyes, the guest of all guests. It's Friday, March 15th. Shout out to my mom who birthed me 49 years ago. Happy birthday, young lady. I know your age is a little more than that, but we'll leave that alone because you're still beautiful and we love you. So, hey, have a great weekend, gentlemen. It's on.
Have a great one, guys. Appreciate everybody jumping on and watching this. I appreciate being featured, man. Much love to you both. Have a great one.
Love you, brother. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.
Blessing.